George, it is. I'm humbled to have you here. Thank you.
I'm humbled to be here. Thank
I
you for
loved
having me.
this book. For the dumb folks who haven't read it yet, tell us a little bit about what this book is about.
It's basically the outline is a stinker dies.
A
stinker dies. There's a guy who has been really active in the climate change denial back in the Bush-Cheney era, and it's the last night of his life.
Yeah.
So, you know, hilarity ensues.
And you empathize. You show some empathy for this oil tycoon.
Yeah.
Is this really the time for that, George?
Yeah, it's always the time. No, I mean, when you're narrating somebody from inside his head, you find out that empathy is kind of, or maybe not empathy, but kind of a level of understanding. You know, you're talking about his childhood. And to me, the interesting thing about this book was, if you're a stinker, you know, a guy who's really done bad things, how do you narrate that to yourself? You
Yes.
know? I don't think it's the Cruella de Vil school of evil where you're like, yeah, I'm evil today and I'm loving it. But there's something going on. So how does, for 3 years, the question was, how does a guy who's done that, and he knows he's done it, so how does he speak to himself?
Yeah.
You know, how does he rationalize it?
And so you're getting in the mindset of somebody who's done, on the surface, some pretty horrible things and made some decisions.
Yeah.
What do you discover about putting your head in that headspace? I try not to put myself in the space of other people, in their shoes, in their headspace. I try to stay immune from that kind of empathetic response.
Just hover above them.
That's the best place. It's the best view. I don't know why everybody's so critical about it. What do you discover from being in that headspace?
Well, I mean, one thing, in his case, the whole thing, in the last, it's the last 2 or 3 hours of his life. And there's a series of ghosts who come around, as they do, and try to convince him that he's been wrong. And so it was interesting to kind of look into your own mind and say, well, how do I deny shit? You know, how do I, if I'm, or stuff, whatever. But if I
cable, baby, it is cable.
But you know, when we've done something that we wish we hadn't done, there's actually a series of steps you go through. First, it's I didn't do it.
Right.
And, well, I did it, but I didn't mean it. Or I did it and someone made me. And finally, towards the end, you might, if you're lucky, especially if it's the last night of your life, have a moment of real honesty and clarity.
Well, it feels like this book is also debating the idea of, you have a character, a ghost, who is there to provide comfort. Yeah. You have another character, the Frenchman, who, in general, is there for accountability.
Yeah.
Wants this oil tycoon to face some sort of retribution, or at least guilt and understanding on their deathbed.
Yeah.
Like, where do you come down on that of offering comfort? What does that mean to you?
Well, for me, the whole book was kind of a exporting of my own mental stuff, like as a career.
Is this for people at all? Or is this just your own therapy that you're profiting off of, George?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a good gig if you can do it. But, you know, the idea that, like, as a career-long liberal, you know, slightly left of Gandhi, you know,
Humble yourself here, all right? We get it.
I want to forgive everybody, you know, and this one ghost, Jill, her point of view is, you know, none of us in the womb had a checklist of the way we wanted to be when we were born. So if it turns out that you were lucky and intelligent and articulate and all those things, that's great for you, but it isn't necessarily a given. So therefore, the proper relation to people is be merciful when they're wrong. Don't be too triumphant when you're right. You know, so she's kind of an angel. She's kind of a very spiritual being, but she's also really bad at her job. So for me, it became a debate about, like, you know, like liberals like myself. You know, if somebody hit you in the head with a rock, you're like, oh, thank you for the geology lesson. You know,
right.
Yeah. But I know that's not serving us very well now. You've got to have some spine. So the Frenchman is somebody who says, sure, you can forgive, but first you have to make people confess, and you have to reduce them to a place of honesty, and then you can start talking about repentance. Yeah.
How do you see that? I mean, in this day and age, I read that, and I want to be somebody who is like Jill, this character who wants to comfort and see, use a wonderful phrase, that their existence and who they are is inevitable because of the circumstances that they are in. But then you see that up against somebody who's a climate denier and caused a lot of havoc in this world. And I do, in this day and age that is so devoid of accountability. Yeah. Like, I look to these characters and I wonder how much grace we should accord people who have done such terrible things.
Well, I mean, the ultimate grace, I think, is to hold somebody to say what you're doing is cruel. And you can't just keep doing it, and we're going to stop you. So for me, like, Minneapolis was a beautiful example of people saying, we're not going to become violent, but we're going to stop this. And so to me, there's no real divide between compassion and firmness if you do it right, because God knows, I mean, if you're, you know, list of people in the Trump administration, this isn't good for you. You know, I heard a Buddhist teacher say, I wouldn't wish their situation on my worst enemy because of the karma or the sin that they're accruing. So in a certain way, I think to be firm, and for me, the whole thing is in this really confusing shit show to say, do I still have any clarity about what I really believe? Do I still believe in truth? Do I still believe in love? Do I still believe in community? For me, I'm thinking like the big job is to keep that clear in my mind.
How do you do that? Just even stepping away, I think that is a question I'm asking every day. And I mean, I hate to say it, when I go out and I talk to people, both political and also friends, people are having a miserable time right now. The world is on fire. There is a war. We see cruelty celebrated. We are constantly inundated with misinformation in ways that make us only angry and frustrated. It's hard to find that light. Where do you see that? You mentioned Buddhism. Is that a path that you have found it in? Is it writing books and then making money off of it? It sounds like that's also effective for you.
It works for everybody.
Okay.
No, I mean, there's this old parable about a kingdom that only had one well, and for some reason, a witch or somebody poisoned the well, such that when the people drank the water, they would go insane. And so the king, who lived up on the hill, as kings do, he had his own well.
Looking down on people again, it's the best vantage point.
But he had his own well, so the whole kingdom is going insane, and he's got the clean water up there. And in the parable, the decision is, does he drink the water, become insane, and thereby be able to rule his people? And in the parable, he does. He goes as crazy as it. In our time, I think the trick is to recognize the clean water in whatever way you can. For me, it's writing. You know, fiction works, the way I would say it is, a good book is a series of moments in which the reader recognizes herself on the page, her experience, and her heart rises to it, and she's engaged. And this goes on, and the sum total of it is that two people who don't know each other have reassured one another of their mutual humanity. So you feel, hopefully reading my book, you feel that I believe you're as real as I am, and vice versa. So I think it's a small thing, but for me it's really helpful to every day go, I know shit when I see it, I know shinola, whatever that is, when I see it. But I think in this time, this fever is going to break, because these are a bunch of incompetents. It's like we took the You
feel so? You have hope? You see that?
Somehow, I think what happened was we took the most pugilistic, simplistic, strange people in the high school and put them in charge of the prom, But I mean,
people got behind that.
They did,
right?
and they did, and that to me is the one thing, sort of intellectually, I'm trying to work on it. How did that happen? That so many people, many of whom I know and like, and I know you've met a good many. How did they make that decision? And that I don't know.
You wrote an amazing essay in the New Yorker in 2016. You went to MAGA rallies and events to sort of take a look at what was happening to America at that time, and you ended it. Question, I'm paraphrasing here, but that you saw America as a fragile place and you never thought it could potentially dissolve or crumble in your lifetime, and you were questioning that then. We are now in 2026. Is there any addendums to that feeling?
No, I'm still going, what's happening? No, I mean, the one thing that struck me on that, it was in 2016, I went to 4 or 5 rallies, and I just couldn't believe the extent of the siloing. So I write for the New Yorker, and sometimes in a moment of weakness, I might drop that fact at a party, just to feel better about myself. So,
thank you for admitting that, George. So many people come on the show, they don't admit it. Thank you.
But so I'm at these rallies, and I'm feeling very insecure, because I mean.
That doesn't get you very far at a Trump rally.
No,
trust me.
That's right. Yeah. I don't feel so good.
Do you know David Remnick? Do you know him? Jill Lepore? Do you? Doesn't get you anywhere.
Well, and kind of the anti-punchline is not a single person knew what it was, which is fair enough. But I'd never before realized how divided we were. And so I think part of the answer to this is that we're getting different media feeds. Like I said somewhere that, if I go to fight with my anti-Trump uncle, we could just put 2 TVs in there, put Fox on this one, MSNBC on this one, and we could leave the room and talk about something we know something about, So there's something going on there. But I think the first order of business is to be firm in what we know is right and in our highest vision of the country, which is everybody's welcome. When you're here, you're going to get all the rights. You're going to get every right, and I'm going to fight for them, no matter who you are or what you are. Those are pretty good ideas, and they've been corrupted by this crew. But I think it's going to fall away, and then my kind of, I had a Buddhist teacher once who said, despair is a more dangerous emotion than even anger. So to keep myself out of despair, I'm saying, well, when this crumbles, and it's going to do so, and it's going to be pretty catastrophic, then those of us who are of the spirit could fill the void with an even better version. Because this thing is now, it's been discredited in so many ways that it's basically standing up on one very shaky leg, and it's gonna go down.
It's going to go down.
I think so. That's my prediction.
George Saunders, I got to tell you, it truly is. It is a wonderful book from one of my favorite minds in this good old strange beautiful country with bad water, but there's good water out there somewhere. There is. George Saunders, everybody. Your book is Vigil. Go get it.